Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here at FishEZ on a Friday night. Thank you. It is Roman who is in the house first. Thank you. And all the people who come tonight, thank you so much for your brief. I say brief because, we live stream for about an hour and maybe a little bit more than that. But that's it. It's just an hour in the fish room, checking out things, looking at things that have developed over the course of the week, and including many of the things that may be new or successes and so forth. So, hi, Benjamin and Jeff, Go with the Flow Aquatics. Yes, Richard Reynolds. And Chris is here in the house. Robert Lucas, yes. Thank you, Robert, for joining us again from your neck of the woods. Thank you, everyone. If you are watching this on the replay, please be sure to leave a comment below. And also, if you're here live, and even if you're on replay, you can always hit the thumbs up. So welcome again for Friday night. And Sandy, you are with us. Yes, thank you. It's good to see you. Tonight, what we have in store is a couple of things. I wanted to share with you some of the exciting things that have happened in the fish room, but at the same time, there's always some things that are, great successes, and then there's other things that are failures. That's just the way it is with fish keeping. Sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to realize that failures can be sort of the heartache of fish keeping. Especially when it comes to breeding fish, it's very difficult to get things just right, just perfect, and to do such in a way, do them in a way that brings a lot of joy and satisfaction. So how can one prepare for a failure? Well, one of the things that can be done is to expect failure, and then when you don't have failure, it's such a wonderful surprise, and everybody's very happy because, wow, it wasn't at all a failure. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to show you, we're going to look at, first of all, some procedures I follow in the fish room that are very straightforward, things I do on a regular basis. I want to look at some eggs that have hatched, okay? Let's go take a look at them. I have over here in the fish room, Shady Grady, Richard McGrath, everybody's joining us tonight, great. So I'm going to turn around the camera, and in this camera, what we are looking at here is a hatch. Now this seems to be very successful, and I'm very happy with this hatch. The hatch rate is super good. Now, Capital Razor, if this is your first time, thank you for joining. And what we're looking at here is a breeder box that I'm using just to hatch out these angelfish fry. This is upside down. I don't know if you can see, but this is has a stand, and then it angles this slate in the tank. And so I've just turned it upside down in order to get it in the water. Let me add some light here. See if you can see how many fry have hatched. Get a good look there, huh? You can see by the number of white eggs that didn't hatch, this is pretty good. Sorry to hear about that, Chris. Hey, Chris, keep working at it. We need those Aurelius barbs. We need those. You need to hatch those. We need to get some of those. You already have a customer. Yeah, these are doing very well. It looks like there's just one spot there. It looks like it might be fungusing, but this is when the eggs were first brought over from the pair. These are black marble angels, a very nice pair at that. And what I did was I put them a few days in nothing blue. It's a very dark concentration. Well, not very dark, but it's a stronger concentration. What you're looking at here is just the blue water that came when I removed them from the concentration, put them in clean fresh water. And this device, this slate, absorbs a lot of the methylene blue, and then when I put the slate into clean, clear water, it tinges the blue. So what you're looking at is a tinge. And all I need to do is to clean it out is to sort of start cycling water through the breeder box. It'll go into the tank behind, and with the volume of water, the blue will just disappear. It will just completely be gone. But right now I'm not too worried about it. Over here we have one batch of angelfish fry, a little older. They're at least a week. I think I had them hatched last week. They were in the big jar, if I recall right, last week. So yeah, these are about 10 days old. It's not a bad group. I did see a few deaths along the way. When they're at this age, you still get a lot of little ones. This, by the way, is interesting. All I did was clean out the egg trap, and this egg trap had a bunch of muck at the bottom. So what I did was I just suck out the muck and I let it sit for about 5 days, because there could be eggs in it. So I don't see any fry pop out now. I think it's at the end of the 5 days. I actually did, after I did this, was able to pick out some fry. So tonight we're going to look at the fry here in this jar, and as you can see, there's quite a number. These fry are, well, I'm suspecting they're Danios. They could be rasboras, galaxy rasboras, because I have 2 species in the tank, and someone laid eggs, obviously. And what you're looking at is either CPDs, galaxy rasboras, or they are glow light Danios. Either one. The egg trap did all the work. And then later there was another, and this is another, see, these are smaller. Later on there was a few more that popped into the egg trap. So this is the second batch, and they're in their own jar. These jars work out very well for these. It concentrates them into a small area where the food can be put in, live food. We started with paramecia. These are still getting paramecia, but actually they're already on to baby brine shrimp. Now this is an example of, let's see, is there anything in here? This is just muck that I'm letting sit for 5 days, because again, you never know. This came out of the bottom of a breeder trap. I'm not seeing anything live. Turn around the light a little bit. Usually the light stimulates the fish to go zipping around, and you'll see some movement. I don't see any movement. I do see a lot of detritus worms. Nothing else. And these are, of course, need to be cleaned and ready for the next batch. By the way, here is a success story. I am doing very well in my black worm culture. Let me put the light over. And in top of the black worm culture, you are looking at Cereodaphnia or Moenodaphnia. The very small ones, they started to multiply, and they're doing very well. You can see how well they're doing, and this is one of my more difficult Daphnia to deal with. But look at the bottom. Right there, it's just blackworms that I have available. I can start feeding these blackworms to the fish. And the culture has really multiplied. I'm ready to see if I can get a sustainable culture. Basically, all I learned was use sands, use a substrate, put the worms in, feed them fish food. I got some fish food in there. They seem to really like the, they go for the wafers better than anything. I got some goldfish for the pellets, but you see they're not really devouring those things. I don't know why. They don't seem to be going after them as much. But what's interesting about this setup is that I have an overflow, and there's the overflow, and all I need to do is add water through this airline tube, and so I'll do that. So here's our airline tube connected to the bottom of this. It's got a controller. There's the controller. So I'm just gonna just fill this up every 2 or 3 times a day. I might just fill this up and then walk away. So I just keep filling it up. And what it's doing is flushing out the tank with the worms in it. Okay. So hold on. Let me put put this in the rack. I mean the holder. Okay, there we go. Fish Family, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And let's see, I'll show you. It's so simple. If I want to flush this tank, I just take a bunch of water. This is dechlorinated water. It's been bubbled for at least 8 hours, and I just fill it up, throw it in here, and walk away. Okay, that's a water change for you. My fastest water change is I just pour the water in and I walk away. So what we're seeing here is the easy method. The FishEZ method is to just pour water in there whenever I need to. It goes over here and then dumps into here, and then as the tank fills, it just overflows out into the sink. And that's it. And I'm not sure how the Daphnia are growing in there. I see that they're really multiplying. Look at the light. On the light, I can see there's quite a bit. They've come to the light. This is pretty good. They're a little different. I am cultivating the Moina. The Moina, no, not Moina, the Magna. The Magna Daphnia are bigger, and I like them for conditioning my breeder. These would be more like for smaller fish, maybe fry. But the Moina are down here in this tank. And as you can see, I put last night, I put green water. They're bigger, definitely a bigger Daphnia. It's great though. So neat to just be able to take a net and swoop up a bunch of Daphnia, and I can do that anytime. Just wish. See, just pick up some Daphnia. Okay, and let's see who we shall feed this to. Good amount. So instead of just throwing it into a tank, what I often will do, let's see if I can I can show you how to control the amount of food. It's just simply, I'm going to take a small container. I have one here in the sink. And then I use the same water I did here. So I'm going to fill this up. It's got half of it left, so I'm just going to pour it into my worm culture. I think there's some fresh water. And then I take the Daphnia and I put it in one of these. Basically for controls. So what I'm doing is basically I'm getting the Daphnia for live food. Daphnia is one of the best foods. I don't know why people don't cultivate. All I use was a 20-gallon sitting on the floor. Green water, which I cultivate green water, prepare green water in a 2.5-gallon up above. And now I'm just going to use a baster. Here's my baster, and I'm just going to take the baster and pretty much, as you can see here, I'm going to get a closer view. You can see here that once you get I don't know if it's not coming in focus, is it? But anyway, I got a baster full of these guys, and now I'm just going to drop it into a tank. So let's, for example, I have the subocellatus. We'll go ahead and feed these little puppies. So I'm going to set this down. hold the I have female fish. These are rosy barbs that I want to condition. Okay, so I just put it in there. Yeah, the Daphnia. They go crazy. And it draws out the subocellatus as well. Those little guys. I'm going to do some changes to this tank to get the colors out in the subocellatus. Right now they're on this glass, but I think some black sand on there would be a great way to darken them up. So I'm just kind of feeding them up, and I'll start to put some leaves and soften the water. Maybe use some RO water, and oh, there's 7 subocellatus here. There's a female right there. I want them to start pairing off. I think they're old enough. They're young adults. And the female rosy barbs, they're also something I'm trying to condition up, because we're going to throw those together when you think we should, and we'll be doing that right over here tonight. Or earlier this week, I took the 4 tanks that were here, cleaned them all up because they were pretty messy. So I'm ready with I think some low TDS water. I wonder what the TDS is. Let me see. Where's my pen? Yeah, here's my pen. Let's take a look at what the TDS on this water is. It's already got up to temperature. Okay, 0. Let's see. This one is 22, 21. This one is not much different, 22. Maybe they're all the same, 23. Okay, this is pretty low on the TDS, 23 again, yeah. It's pretty good. Okay, so question. I would like to throw this out to all of you. What would you like to breed? What do we put in these 4 tanks? I've got several choices. And what would you like us to try? Now I have, let's see. So I have several barbs that we can try to put in these tanks behind me. Let's see if I can do that. Show that behind me. All right. So we've got 4 tanks. Now what I'd like to do is, say for example, I have 5 rosy barbs, females, 5. These are the long fin. Now we could put 1 pair in each of the tanks with a trio in the 3rd and the 4th, and hopefully get something out of one of the pairs or even the trio, right? I have at least that many males. Let's take a look at the males. We looked at the females eating the Daphnia. Let's take a quick look at those. They're looking really nice. Those males probably look like they're ready to go. And by the way, those Odessa barbs aren't looking bad either. So we could try, I have 4, 2, 4, 6, 7, I have, looks like 7 males in here. 4 older from one source, and then I got 3 younger ones from a different source. That's a nice attempt. We could try that. Let's look at the males over here. We could try to get some green tiger barbs. We have some green tiger barbs. Some of them, as you can see, are a little lighter. They're the jade tiger barbs. So we have dark green, we have jade. You'll notice some ruby barbs in here. Forget those.